Welcome back. This is By the Book, and we are married relationship coaches. I'm Scent.
I'm Sil.
And we are happy to be back with you guys after such a long hiatus.
Finally.
Anyway, guys, we are continuing on talking about Married at First Sight, Season 18, episode something in the middle. David and Michelle. Right?
Yes, that's their names.
Yes.
I don't know if you can say the and, but
David, comma,
Michelle, yeah.
Fair enough. Wow. So it's been a long, treacherous season for them already, and we're really only halfway through.
Yeah.
I am shocked that David has not left or that he hasn't blown up. I'm impressed with his, maturity, I guess, in some ways. Maybe it's not maturity. Maybe it's just resilience, positive attitude, positive, just general vibe. Like, he seems like a super cool dude to hang out with.
Yeah.
I get it, Michelle. I don't want to date nobody that lived in the basement of their parents' house either. Especially when they got to do laundry down there. Like, that's crazy. And he's 36?
I think so.
Yeah, 36. So I do get for sure why she was disappointed with that. I think one of the other things that put her off straight out the gate was that he said he smoked. I don't know how much, but she just, right from the beginning, she just didn't have a good, I think he just kind of word vomited right at the meetup right after the wedding.
Yes.
And once he spewed all these things that came off negative to her, she has not recovered. And I don't think she will. I know that my husband has a really, really negative view of Michelle, and I don't have a great one, but I do feel like in her own way, she's trying. It's just not enough. And the way that she looks on this show is awful. So I know that she wishes that she could go back and delete the scenes, but it's out there, and she just looks like a really unpleasant person to be around. And I can't imagine any other person besides David just taking the insults. What did she say to him about his outfit? Is this shirt going out?
Yeah,
I don't know. She said something.
Your big date
outfit. Big date. I just feel like that would have been the last straw.
Yeah.
I'll flip all of this up.
I know. Well, my initial thoughts are, David, bruh. I mean, you remember Timex? Those watches, they had a kind of like a logo that used to play on TV, something like "It takes a licking."
Oh, it keeps on ticking. Yeah, I remember that. Ooh, I thought you were about to have that go right over my head. I do remember that. I do remember that.
That's David. He's been taking a licking, and the man just keeps getting back in line and saying, "Can I have another?"
He's not got a positive attitude. Yeah. He wants something to come of this, and I don't think I've seen a person with more resilience than him on Married at First Sight in all the seasons that we've watched.
No one that I can remember. And as far as Michelle is concerned, I understand. First of all, let me give my little disclaimer, just like you just did. I understand being put off by someone who's at that age living at home with their mom or whatever. But you now have been in this a couple of weeks long. Is there any other positive qualities that you can kind of draw upon, except for those things? You know what I mean? Obviously, he should have shown you something else by this particular point. And so, yeah, I do get it. But I do get it. But you're right. She is coming across as a villain. And her and Ike, they're definitely running for number one villain of this season. Right about now, I don't know who's outpacing the other. It's probably Ike for me. because
me too, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I do understand. I feel like I understand him a little bit more than I can understand Michelle. Nonetheless, there's just something about his vibe that rubs me so wrong that, yeah, he comes out a little bit worse for me than her too. I think Michelle's issue is that she doesn't have anywhere to channel her frustration. I think she's very frustrated with the process. I think she's very annoyed with the selection. I think she thinks that the experts did a poor job matching her. I think that she's disappointed with her own presentation to the experts, that she wasn't introspective enough to fully express the things that she wanted or didn't want. I think she's got so many frustrations about this whole thing and disappointments, and David is the only one who's there to really take the brunt end of that. So he's getting it.
Yeah.
And because he's receiving it well, I mean, I don't know. I can't say this enough. I feel like people who make themselves easy whipping boys, so to speak, easy targets, I don't know, like that people see that and then they use them. Like if he didn't put up, y'all tell me if you think I'm wrong, but if he did not tolerate the level of
disrespect,
his disrespect is like snippiness. I want to say, can I say? Can I say it?
No, you can't say
I can't say it. Her level of like just unpleasant vibes.
Yes, okay.
If he didn't take it, if he gave her the pushback that we all want to see him give her, she wouldn't deliver it to him so much. Now, what would she do? I don't know. Would she play herself to be the victim? Maybe. Would she walk away, move her stuff out? Maybe. But that's not what he wants to happen. He is, I think, a genuinely nice guy. So this is what you see. You see him getting beat up on, whipped on.
Yeah.
Every episode.
Yes.
And I think, quite honestly, the producers are getting a kick out of like this edit of it too. So they probably highlight those and don't highlight the times when maybe they are getting along. I can't imagine that they never get along. I just can't.
In the after party, she said that they do. I've yet to have heard him say that they do. So we got to take her at her word for that at this particular point. She is passive aggressive and very snippy, with him. And but I don't know. I mean, this guy, again, she rejects him over and over again. She's mean to him. And he just kind of like, all right, I'm going to continue to try. I'm not giving up. And so I have to applaud him. And I don't know what's driving him, but I have to commend it, whatever it is at this particular point, because I don't see a nefarious thought with him. It is, I signed up for this. I want to see it all the way through, and I want to give it my best. I'm not giving up. And he's still trying to have conversations with her to draw anything out of her that he can hang his head on to say, oh, okay, we made progress. We jumped the hurdle together, and he's not getting any of that really from her. And so where do they go from here? Let's get to the 8 weeks as quickly as possible so we can kind of like go ahead and part ways.
Yeah, and you guys tell me if you know the answer to this, because I don't remember if we saw it earlier on. I don't know if we just like zoned out. But what does David do? Like, what is his career? Do you know?
I just know he works nights.
So is he like a bartender or something? Whatever it is that he does, she doesn't have any confidence in his income or his potential. And that's a problem for her too, which we've seen highlighted, I think, for like 2 weeks in a row, where they're talking about, her growing up poor and not wanting to go back to that. She's worked really hard. I get that too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I do understand. Many of us have lived the struggle at some point or another. And when you work hard to not struggle and to see to it that your children don't struggle, Sorry, guys, we thought we heard the baby. Anyway, as I was saying, if you work hard and you see to it that, like, you don't struggle, your kids don't struggle, you certainly don't want, I think particularly as a woman, I'll speak from a woman's point of view, you don't want a man who's going to set you back, right? Like, this, we should be going onward and upward and things of that nature. She's looking for someone who she feels is like her match, who can provide, who, you know, sees things of value in the same way that she sees things of value, who travels as much as her, desires to travel as much as her, who goes to nice restaurants, or at least knows about nice restaurants and, you know, has some interest in going there. I see him making these shifts, but sometimes, I mean, as a woman, I think you don't necessarily want to bring this person, you know, from wherever they are into your world. You want them to already be your match. And I think that is something that she did not in any way anticipate being shortchanged on, so to speak, I guess. And I don't think she brought it up with the experts. And I think she's sorely regretting that she did not do that. But I will just say this. The experts ain't had no business hooking somebody 38 years old up with someone who lived in their parents' basement. Y'all can say whatever you want to say to me about that, but I stand on that. I do, because you don't want, she is too old to want someone who lives at home with their parents. I don't think it's, I know Carla or whatever, she spoke of it as being like a cultural thing. I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want, if I'm being matched up on a blind date, don't you dare tell me that you blind dated me with somebody who lives in their parents' basement. Like, it's not going to be okay. It's not going to go over well. So that's expert.
You know what? I agree with you. They should not have done that. But he's saying that he's saving up money. He's able to save up money to go where he wants to go and do what he wants to do as far as his living arrangement is concerned in the future. And so could a woman sign off or understand that?
I get it. It's just not a good look. And see, here's the thing. This is one of those situations where you have to know your scenario. So, right, like if I met you out and we had an opportunity, or I knew you from work or something like that, and we had an opportunity to know one another, get close to one another, like each other's personality, have a vibe, have a chemistry, whatever. And then sometime months later, I found out that you lived in your parents' basement. But I was like, nah, you know, I know what this guy is about. Like, this is a really cool dude. I can see that he's responsible. You know, he likes to go out on these types of, I don't know, adventures, dates, travel here, travel there. I know something about you by this time. So my first opinion of you is not that you live in your parents' basement. That's hard to recover from. If you led with that when we met, then it would have shut the whole thing down, you know? So I think the experts have to pay attention to the fact that these people are, they're humans. They're meeting these people for the first time. They're learning about them for the first time. And if your first impression is this person lives in his parents' basement and he's 36 years old, it's a drag, to say the least.
I get it. I do understand. That's something huge to have to overcome. And as they could continue to reflect on her upbringing and growing up poor and everything, that puts you in a line of understanding where she come from and why she could be misbehaving. But that only gets me so far. That only gets me so far, because once now you are aware of the nature of where this misbehaving has come from, and now what is it? Dr. Pepper, they've brought it up, and she's already talked about it with I believe David as well, and she's talked about it with the other counselor. But she continues to behave like this. And so,
but it was just last week that she had the revelation in the session. So you gotta at least give her a week and see.
No, she knows the origin of why she feels why she feels the way she feels. And so it's at the time now. Hey, no, stop mistreating this guy. Mm-hmm. Stop acting like this. You know how why you're doing it. Now let's stop it. Because to me, that does not give you a get out of jail free card mm-hmm. or a continue to do it card. No, absolutely not. So now, hey, either you say, I'm in this thing with you, David, for the rest of these weeks, and I'm going to treat you better moving forward, or maybe you need to go on back home, or whatever the case may be.
I've been waiting for my husband to say this since we started watching these shows. Go home. That's right. It's okay to know when to walk away. And that's what she needs to do. She's not going to. And I do feel like there's been moments during this season where she, in essence, has said, I'm checked out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what brings her back. I don't know if it's just that he has such a positive demeanor and she's like, man, I really don't want to do him too dirty. Or if the experts or the producers are saying something to her behind the scenes that's making her stay. But I feel like there's been at least 2 opportunities or 2 scenarios where I've seen her and I've been like, oh, that's about to be the end. Yeah. And then here she is right back the next day. So I don't know who's responsible for that. But, sometimes it's okay to throw in a towel.
Sometimes it is, but I'm gonna tell you this too. I think you were being very generous with her, talking about the interview process that she went through, and we saw the tape when Dr. Pia showed her hey, this is what you were asking for. This is what we gave you too, because this is what you asked for. And then she's sitting over there looking all salty because she played the tape in front of her. But here's the thing. Maybe she shouldn't have sent her representative into these interviews to say what she thought what those people wanted to hear so she can get on this show.
I get it. But I feel like the things that she said are things that she wants. Honestly, and just think about this practically. Mm-hmm. If you had to sit up and say, these are things that I want out of a relationship. You were in an interview and somebody's asking you, obviously you're single mm-hmm. in this interview, mm-hmm. and someone's asking you to identify, 10 things that you want out of a relationship, mm-hmm. and you do that, there are going to probably be some of the things that didn't make the list that ultimately might end up being important. And here's the real kicker, is that some of those things will be things that you didn't even think you had to address. Mm-hmm. Not staying in your parents' basement. I would not even, honestly, if I were going through the process, I am older than, what is her name? Michelle, right? If I were going through the process at this big age, I would not think that I would have to tell the experts, I don't want somebody to live at home with their parents. It wouldn't even occur to me that I would be set up with somebody like that. So I would feel like I got put in a trick bag if I then showed up and found out that my husband lived in his parents' basement and had no real prospects or desires to get out. I know
that's not what he does have prospects to get out of the basement. Yes.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
I don't think he has any plans. I think, and this is the thing that I think is probably off-putting about David to her, is that it doesn't really seem like he stands on anything. He's willing to flex and waver and bend and whatever according to almost everything that she says. And as much as people feel like being accommodating is a positive trait, being a people pleaser isn't. So if it feels like, if I say blow right, then that's the way you're gonna go, and right with the wind, and I come on, stand on something. That's not a good feeling, because if you're that weak that you can just be swayed by anything she says. All of a sudden, I like the sushi restaurant, blah, blah, blah. He probably went and threw up in the bathroom. Like, nobody wants somebody that just does whatever they think is best. Yeah. Because how do you make decisions? How do you make decisions in life? How do you make decisions in your own career? Uh-huh. How do you lead a household? How do you run? You know what I mean? Like, I can't have any confidence in you if I run your life now. You just met me.
Well, yes, no one wants a people pleaser. Yeah, I get it. Stand on something. And we have not seen him be able to do that yet, because I think he's constantly in trying to make her comfortable mode and not upset her mode and walk around in these eggshell mode. I think he's in all of those type of things, and we have not seen him be able to give a complete rundown on where he stands on certain things. And because it's been all about Michelle.
Mm-hmm. But that's not her fault.
That's
not his fault. He has to make his own space, his own room. And
well, I do agree with you on that, to a certain extent. Michelle has been ridiculous, this whole thing. And yeah, I do think in the interview process, she should have been like, hey, I'm interested, just to boil it down, I'm interested in someone who's high functioning and high value. Both. And so she got the high functioning. This man is taking
Wait. I think there's a big leap between living in your parents' basement and being high value, at least according to like the way that Google defines high value, man. Right? Like, just have your own place. I don't know. I don't know. I like have benefits with your job. I don't just like the basics.
Well, I'm sure he has been. I think he's in the medical field, if I'm not mistaken. And so I just think, like he said, he's able to save up a little bit faster the way he's doing it. Even his friend has co-signed that.
Of course his friend is going to co-sign that. What you mean, even?
What do you mean,
whose
even?
Friend not going to co-sign for them?
What the friend going to lie for? The friend not gonna lie. He gonna be like, yeah, David's saving up his money because he's gonna get the big house on the hill.
Y'all men laugh at y'all friends like it's an unspoken rule. Cut it out.
My friends don't lie for me.
I don't need to talk to your friends, but they would. Not that there's anything wrong. But no, I don't. But they would. I guarantee. I don't even have to know them that well to know they would. They would lie for you instantly. I could call right now and be like, yeah, was Sale with you yesterday? Yeah. Until what time? Yeah, he was here until 8 o'clock. What you mean? What did y'all do? Whatever he said we did. That's how men are, and we know this. Anyway, you guys, let us know your thoughts on Michelle and David. Tell me why in the world they're still in this process. Tell me if you think David is too much of a people pleaser, because I do. And tell me if you think Michelle's getting a bad edit, or if she really is just the word that Sal won't let me say.
She's that word. Yeah.
She's the queen bee.
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll work.
All right, guys. Fill us in. Like, share, subscribe. We will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.